Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of NerdyJock Media Presents What We're Watching podcast.
Anime Fall 2024.
Oh yeah, so just so you do know, we have had some commenters on YouTube saying we are not week to week on this, and you are absolutely right. This is our show where we're just kind of watching it when we're watching it and when we're able to shoot one of these episodes. We're doing Dragon Ball Daima podcast week to week, every single week. So if you don't see it on Friday or Saturday, it'll be at least out by Sunday at the latest. This one, we're just going when we can do an episode, and we're going to talk about the episodes that we've been watching and just try to get caught up as we go. Now, hopefully in the future, we can be more regular, like week to week, but right now, both of our schedules are a little bit demanding to where we can't make that happen. So forgive us if we're not up to date on all the episodes, but we are super excited to talk about a couple great shows today.
Yeah, because even if we're not contemporaneous with our releases, we are watching week to week.
We are.
Some amazing shows. Dan to Dan, Blue Lock. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw
My son loves that song.
Who doesn't? It hits. It's like it's up there in top tier. If you're watching and paying attention, what's your top?
Yeah.
We want to make a top 10 list of best anime opening themes, and I guarantee you, Dan to Dan's probably in top 5.
Otanoke by Creepy Nuts is the song. It's on every platform: Amazon Music, Spotify, everything.
It's huge. It's blowing up.
It's so good. It's such a good song.
It is a vibe, man.
We play it at least once a day, and my son makes his stuffed animals dance to it. He freaking loves that song.
Yeah, it's a great song, and I saw a meme on Reddit the other day. Actually, it was an anime Reddit thread, and they were talking about Dan to Dan intro. It's like a bro. It's like, and they're like. One guy's like, yeah, skip the intro. And it said, Dan to Dan, he said, no, bro, not on this one.
Beautifully animated, great song. But I mean, it's not just the song that makes the show great. This show is top tier. Week to week. And I think this week we're talking about episodes 6, 7, and 8.
Yes, but the last episode we shot of what we're watching, Dan, we didn't really even get past episode 4.
Wow.
So yeah, we're like way behind on this. But I've been watching week to week.
And we haven't even released that episode at the time of this recording.
Yeah, we recorded it. We still haven't released that one yet.
We'll get to it when we get to it.
We'll get to it when we get to it. So give us some grace. Just catch up, watch along. When we watch it, we're sorry we're behind, okay?
I mean, the main thing, though,
the main thing
if we just want to talk about episode 7 by itself.
Okay. Okay, so let me just give him a quick recap.
Yeah, please.
After episode 4, that was the gang versus Turbo Granny, which is an awesome, beautiful animated episode.
Insane.
It was insane. Everything about that was freaking gorgeous. And then they went back.
We did talk about episode 5 because the kiss and the kiss and all that stuff.
Back to 5.
We get introduced to Ira.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So you're right. Fast forward. We're going to go straight to episode 6 and episode 7.
Right. So Ira has this power where she can see a yokai that she thinks is an angel.
Exactly.
And she thinks that she is this anointed angelic force in the world that's trying to clear the world of demons.
Yeah.
And she thinks that Momo is a demon.
Yeah. So and there's already a little bit of tension there with Ira and Momo and Okurun because she is your cliche pretty girl at school, the pink hair, everyone's fun, all the guys are wooing over her.
Right.
And she knows that, and she just uses it to play games with them because she's that kind of a bitchy kind of a teenage girl.
Right, yeah. She's the cute popular girl, whereas Momo is the cute alternative, whatever, kind of girl. But
so there's already some great tension there between Momo and Ira, and then there's a little love interest between Okurun and Ira. So we see a little bit of just a great episode introducing her on episode 5, and then now 6 it really gets into it because we get some really really deep narrative going on here.
Yeah. So I mean the main thing is that Ira doesn't have a mom. She doesn't have a mom. Her mom died when she was younger.
Very sad moment.
And she can see yokai, and she sees this yokai woman and believes that it is her mom, like a spirit of her mom. And this yokai woman, which we will learn later, there's a very specific reason for it, gets latched on to her.
Yeah.
But like all yokai, whether it was intentional or not, the attachment becomes toxic, where now she wants to sort of devour Ira and become one with her in some way, in order to not lose her. And so Okurun and Momo have to try to save Ira from this yokai that's trying to basically eat her.
Yes, and there is an absolutely stunning, absolutely stunning fight scene. But I was going to say, I think every episode there has been an absolutely mind-blowingly, stunningly animated fight scene.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
even if there's no fight, like every episode, the animation in the show is just top tier. It's so good.
Yeah, so this yokai is fighting with Momo and Akurun in, I guess it's adjacent to the school in like some kind of a
like warehouse or something. Yeah,
or where there's all kinds of carpentry stuff like that. So there's death objects everywhere that can kill them. I mean, her hair. The yokai's hair is very much like the ring hair from the Ring. It's got a life of its own.
Right.
She can move it and use it as a weapon and choke them. And they're getting their asses beat like most of this fight pretty handily.
Right. And it kind of ends on a cliffhanger where they're getting beat up. And then episode 7 just kind of picks up right into the fight again, where we establish more rules where she's using her hair. Like every time her hair touches something, it kind of gets semi-permanently latched to that thing.
Entangled, yeah.
So Okuran, like, unbeknownst to this yokai, is sort of running around getting her hair tangled on all these beams so that she ends up getting kind of stuck. So she can't chase them anymore.
And it's a smart tactic because he can't go turbo granny on her just because it's too small of a space, too narrow for him to run like super fast. So he has to go like pretty fast. He can't go all the way fast, but he goes pretty fast. And Momo, at this point, got her hands tied up. I can't remember who tied her. Oh, the girls did.
Ida and her friends. We forgot about that whole kidnap plot.
Yeah, and
this all came about because they think that she's a demon and they kidnapped her.
They have to kidnap her to try to exorcise this demon because they think she's bad because she can see that Momo has spiritual powers as well.
Right.
And it's kind of funny though because obviously one thing about the show that's so great is that there's comedy in every moment when there's deep, dramatic, sad moments, there's comedic moments, and there's great action. It's the best combination of everything. And right now, this whole little arc, they're actually looking for Okurun's balls,
right?
Golden balls.
Because we didn't even mention in episode 5 that Turbo Granny is now one of the little lucky cats.
Yes, she's a lucky cat.
Yeah, she's a lucky cat, and
which is perfect for her, right?
There are golden balls that are sort of scattered around, almost like Dragon balls. Yeah. And those things, if they are reunited with Okuran, he gets his testicles back. So that's what they're looking for.
Exactly.
I hope we don't get struck on YouTube for saying this stuff.
No, that's a technical medical term. There's nothing wrong with saying testicle, but these are golden balls.
It's anatomy. Yeah. So they're going on this quest to look for Okuran's balls. And and Momo gets kidnapped by these girls who are just like kicking her, torturing her, all this stuff. And then it unleashes this yokai and it gets into this thing. And then then episode 7, fight picks up. They start fighting. They're able to, Okuran's able to go super turbo granny and defeat this yokai. But Ida is dead. The girl who kidnapped Momo that they were trying to protect, she's dead. And Okuran is performing mouth to mouth on her while Momo is like massaging her heart.
With her spirit energy is
Turbo Granny Cat just talking mad crap.
Let her die.
She can't do it. And then the yokai shows up and says, "Let me give her my aura."
Yeah.
And then the episode completely switches.
It is, and this is like goosebumps, man. This hits hard. So we just got done watching a very dramatic end of a fight scene where you're like, oh, I'm so glad this yokai,
this big scary yokai,
this demon lady is dead. We defeated her, and it just turns for the most saddest, most empathetic backstory you're ever going to hear. I mean, it just is so touching. With
very minimal dialogue. It's the story of the yokai when she was a human. She was a single mom who owed a massive debt.
Yeah.
To very bad people. And so she was working her butt off, trying to do that to support her daughter, to pay off the debt, but also like teaching her daughter how to dance, buying her daughter nice clothes. I mean, there's even like an implication.
She's a single mom,
Yeah, there's an implication in the shot where she takes money out of like a debt payment to buy her daughter a nice dress.
The pink dress.
Yeah.
Actually, that the yokai wears.
Yeah, and then eventually the daughter gets taken as collateral after the mom suffers this horribly abusive scene. And then in her struggle to go after her daughter, she dies. Because of the injury she sustained.
She got glass wounds, she got beat to hell, charged. I mean,
this scene like straight up made me cry.
It was touching, man.
And so she, like the fact that you made me care about this ghost that a moment ago I was scared for, but made me care in such a way where it's I mean, okay,
you want after this show, you want her spirit to go on. Right. And Ira. You want them to be, you don't want to lose her.
She becomes this lost, hungry ghost looking for her daughter that was taken to we don't even know what happened to this daughter. Right. We still don't know. So she's wandering around, and then Ira, who can see ghosts, who also lost her mom, tugs at her, and she's like, "Mommy," and she's like, "Oh, you're not my mom." And then this ghost lady is like, "Oh, like this is my kid. This is my baby." It's just really
attached, man.
It's so heartbreaking, and I have to get ahead. I gotta get ahead of you manga readers, because I hear you clacking on your keyboards typing. I know that this is different than the manga, so I don't know if you know this. So in the manga, what happened is she didn't die going after her daughter. She succumbed to despair and jumped off a building, essentially. Which people are like, that hits heavier because she succumbed to despair. I don't know if this is medium bias because I saw the anime. I haven't read the manga. I think that the way the anime did it, and I know why they didn't do what the manga did, because there's broadcasting standards where you can't depict that stuff like in certain time slots on TV, and this is probably a primetime show. But I think that this is actually worse.
Yes.
Dying while trying to get her back.
Yeah, you're bleeding out from every orifice. You've got glass shards all over your body.
She may have survived if she had tourniqueted some of the wounds, if she had pulled the glass out, if she had wrapped them. But her death is a response to the one thing. She's chasing what she wants, which is to get her daughter back. That to me hits way harder than, I just give up and I die.
She's running through the rain, and it's like this terribly sad but beautiful sequence. I mean, even the opening of the flashback was just a gorgeously animated scene.
When she's teaching her daughter how to dance.
No, even before the dancing, when it's first person perspective, she's like going down the stairs and she's looking out in the rain. And you see, I think it's like, it looks like it was actual like footage of those streets. And they just
that might have been rotoscoped,
rotoscoped. I was like, oh wow, it was gorgeous, because just in this show, they're always doing something unique visually that's just stunning, and something that's emotionally heartbreaking or emotionally impactful in a great comedic way. I mean, you just mentioned it. They had this beautiful dance sequence or near the end there where it showed this demon yokai dancing with her daughter, and then like eventually when she dies and kind of like goes over to the other side, she's like dancing alone as herself, and it's just this really beautiful pirouette she does, and just the animation and just the music. It just, everything is hitting on all cylinders on this show. And it was so touching and so moving. I think like this episode could be nominated for like Emmys, if they have awards like that. Danny Dan's gonna win some stuff, guys.
It was perfect.
It was a flawless episode.
It hit me too, because like I've talked about that I'm a dad on this podcast, but what people don't know is I'm actually a single dad.
Yeah.
I have my son full time, and those tender moments, like where it's just the mom and the daughter together doing all that stuff. It was just, I knew immediately. I was like, oh no, it's the ghost, it's the yokai.
Yeah.
And then how dark it turned, like that. It touched on that primal fear that you have as a parent, where you you vicariously experience it in some way. It like, guys, it destroyed me. I'm getting emotional like talking about it. It's just really, it was really, really hard. And it's like that's good storytelling, man. To make you like feel, you feel that much. Like it's just, it was good, man.
Yeah, man. Take a second, because it does hit, and that's what we're saying. Like this show is that good. I mean, and I can't say enough just how amazing this show is written. I mean, everything about it. I don't think there's been an anime, at least for me, that's been this impactful since Evangelion. Like I have never been, touched this deeply by an anime lately. I mean, this is next level stuff here, guys. This is top tier, god level anime.
It checks every box of a thing that I like in an anime, where it's like beautiful animation, check. Interesting world concept, check. Fun, funny games the characters play where it's like people who believe in ghosts don't believe in aliens. People who believe in aliens don't believe in ghosts. Check. Like all the characters very well defined. Check. Even just like the politics of being a kid and like the sexual tension involved in
navigating teenage life.
Yeah, like navigating puberty and like sexual blossoming that happens in youth and stuff like that. Like, I mean, this show does it in a very honest and relatable way. It's like I remember feeling the things that like these characters are like feeling. Yeah,
you're gonna you're gonna be able to connect with, if not all the characters, at least one of these characters at a pretty human level.
Right.
And what I wanted to touch on is that just I have to commend the show for the fearlessness in the storytelling that they're doing.
Yeah.
Now they are. It's not really going crazy where it's pushing too many, pushing boundaries. But they're willing to do stuff that most mainstream anime are not willing to show. These are great stories. I mean, some do, but this one has it all. And to put all those in one, based around a UFO otaku and a spiritualist, is like the most random situation ever. Which is like what makes anime so great, is you can make an amazing story out of the most weirdest concepts ever. And it's just great. And it's just great.
That's one of the great things about anime and manga storytelling, is that I feel like if this were an American show, based on everything that came before it, people would be like, why are we putting this like super depressing moment with the mom and the daughter in here? That's not the tone of the show at all. Because in American writing in particular, there's such a marriage to like what the tone of the show is. And you can diverge from that a little bit. I don't think you can diverge like this.
Yes.
Like this all of a sudden became like a Satoshi Kon or Hideaki Anno type of story with this mom. And it was just like, it just blew me away.
Yeah.
And all of it was just to set up the fact that Ida was dead.
Yeah.
And this yokai who is dying gives her aura to bring her back to life, and is gonna succumb to just infinite blackness because her heart is just destroyed. She can't deal with it. But then, in one last moment of grace, Ida runs up to her and hugs her.
Oh my gosh!
And says, "Thank you, mommy. I was the happiest kid in the universe." Like it was just like, God,
nailed it.
Just so good.
Send that one to the Emmys, guys, because I just got goosebumps again thinking about it. I mean, if you haven't seen this show, you probably have if you're watching by now, but if you haven't, get on that immediately. You're behind, and you're missing the best show of the season, I think.
Right.
By far.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. There's no question it's the best.
And you just mentioned how it turns on a dime, and that's kind of what I was talking about, the fearlessness. They're willing to go to different places narratively, episode to episode, but they're all impactful, whether we're doing the teenage drama at the high school that week, or a very complicated mother-daughter death of a life and a kidnapping, episode.
Right.
Or Ida lost her life, in this episode. And we just met her, 2 episodes ago?
Yeah.
And she's dead. So it's like this show does not pull any punches, and it is saying, hey, we're going to pull off the Band-Aid and you're going to feel. So if you don't like that kind of anime, then you're missing out. But this one is fantastic.
It's great. And and you haven't seen episode 7 yet, so we don't have...
8. I've seen 7.
Oh, sorry, you haven't seen 8 yet.
Seen 8. 8 just came out.
We'll talk about that next time.
Yeah.
8 is a return to form. And I'll say this without spoiling anything. Great high school romance drama, tension dynamic.
Love triangle is what I see coming.
Right, more of the alien lore in it and stuff like that. Like it's great. It was a fun episode, and it was absolutely that good bite of ginger in between, sashimi and something else, where it's like I needed a palate cleanser because. Whoo, man, the emotion of episode 7.
I'm just gonna fist pump to that one. Just bravo, Dan. We just can't say enough how good it is. But we need to move on. Because we've spent 20 minutes talking about this. We thought
this was going to be a 10-minute pod.
Yeah, completely. Just a 10-minute, like a quick one-off, and we're already at 20 minutes on one show.
Right.
We got to talk a little bit more about one of the most popular shows of all time, and one of the most hailed remakes of all time right now.
Ranma 1/2.
Ranma 1/2.
Ranma 1/2. Ranma 1/2 is chugging along. It's great. We are currently in the first, I would call, long arc of the entire canon, which is the martial arts rhythmic gymnastics competition against Kuno's sister,
We've introduced some new characters. Last time we talked about what got introduced to Ryoga in the remake.
Right. Yeah. Ryoga's great. I believe that Koichi Yamadera is reprising his role, the amazing actor. You know him as Spike Spiegel, Jubei Kibagame in Ninja Scroll, Beerus in Dragon Ball Z. But I believe he got his start on the original Ranma 1/2 playing Ryoga, the Chinese tour guide, and Pichon. Like he does Pichon too. Like all that stuff. So. But yeah, this show is just great. It's beautifully animated. The pacing is incredible. I love Kodachi. She's one of my favorite villains in the show. She's amazing. It's chugging along. It's doing great. That's all we need to say. Watch it on Netflix.
Yeah, that's a really quick one.
We'll do shorts exploring it a little bit more in detail. But yeah, it's doing really good.
Yeah, check out our shorts because Dan has been just crushing it on our shorts with the Ranma shorts and the Dragon Ball Daima shorts too. So
and thank you for everyone who's been commenting on those.
Yeah.
We've had some great conversations with people who are feeling the remake, people who aren't feeling the remake.
But the fans are there. I mean, especially for Ranma. I did not expect that. Like the reaction that we've been getting with all the comments and all the shorts for the Ranma is huge. So
Ranma's getting more interaction than Daima right now.
And Daima's our thing. Like Dragon Ball is our thing.
Dragon Ball's our thing, man.
Yeah, I mean we love tons of anime and we're watching more and more and more. And I don't want to go. I don't even know if I have time for this, but someone told me I need to start watching ReZero.
I've heard a lot of good things about ReZero. Yeah.
So it's like, dude, I'm talking to myself here. I'm like, do I have enough time to do this? I don't think so.
I don't think you do.
I don't think
You're
I do.
You're a busy guy, as we've established at the beginning of this pod. But speaking of good anime and speaking of good remakes, I'll briefly plug that the Kenshin remake.
Yes.
In the last couple of weeks, we've got introduced to two of the most infamous members of the Juppon Katana, or the Ten Swords, which is Anji the Fallen Monk, or Anji Myoo, and then Sword Collector Cho.
Yeah.
And we're in the midst of the Sword Collector Cho arc. For those of you who remember the original story, Kenshin's Sakabato has been broken. It was forged by this very controversial swordsmith named Shaku Arai, who was rejected by all other swordsmiths because he only wanted to make swords that killed people. But for some reason, he made the sword that couldn't kill anyone, which is the Sakabato.
Reverse blade.
It's broken. Kenshin tries to find a new one. Shaku Arai is the son. I'm sorry. Anyways, the dad is dead, the guy who made the Sakabato. But there's one more sword left, and this guy who collects swords, Sword Collector Cho, is after, and he kidnaps a baby, and fighting ensues. And it's plugging along, and it looks great. It's so fun revisiting these characters. It's beautifully animated. I still prefer the original a little bit, but you can't help it. I mean, I've had the original for so long. Yeah. So
I haven't watched it, but I've seen trailers for the new Rurouni Kenshin. I'm gonna try to watch that too. But I'll tell you this I kind of like a little more the rigid lines from the original one. And the animation is a little bit different. It's a little more cartoony, should I say.
A little glossy, yeah.
A little glossier. I mean, Daima's kind of the same way in a lot of ways, but I prefer those harsher kind of anime curved lines in the faces and stuff like that, and a little harsher, like more lines, more rigid,
sharper designs.
Sharper designs.
Yeah.
I don't like the rounded. Anime's getting all rounded out lately.
But we're old takus, right? It's like when we grew up watching anime, that's what anime looked like. It was sharp. It was crisp.
Yeah.
It was like a lot of it like had very gothic themes to it, and it's like a lot of modern stuff just doesn't have that. Like I think the popular thing now is brighter colors, more rounded edges.
Yeah, you got a lot more. Well, Death Note's kind of modern. That one actually is more like has an old school kind of like the character designs like you'd see in the movie, like in 1999 X, stuff like that. Those kind of artists.
I feel like that's one of the reasons it stood out so well in the mid 2000s, because I'm of the opinion that most anime in the mid 2000s sucked.
Yeah.
It was all like really glossy and dumb. Like I've talked about the Guyver infinitely on this thing.
Yeah.
There was a Guyver show in the mid 2000s that explored the manga canon a little bit further than the original OVAs did, and I hate the way that the mid 2000s Guyver looks. Like I hate it.
So I went on Crunchyroll to check that out because you're like, hey, check it out. I've seen the original movies. I haven't seen all the anime, to be honest, the original. I've seen some, but I couldn't tell you beat for beat. It's been a while. Actually, maybe I have, and I just don't remember it that well. But I do know that I pulled up the new Guyver on Crunchyroll, and I was like, it looks so like very chibi, like the eyes. It was not like
very mid 2000s, but
more shoujo than shonen. It looked like in some moments. It was
That's not to say that nothing bad came out of the mid 2000s. Right. I got to give Naruto its flowers. One of the best shonen stories ever. Full Metal Alchemist, obviously. Right. And Death Note, but Death Note seemed like a return to like classic Madhouse style.
Yeah,
and it was done by Madhouse. Yeah, and that's what we grew up with, like Yoshiaki Kawajiri stuff, and those like really dark, sharp, styles and stuff like that. So
we'll get back on that, and I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna make an effort, guys. I promise you, this week I'm gonna spend some time. I'm gonna do my work. I'm gonna catch up on Ranma. I'm gonna catch up. I've seen a new episode of Dan to Dan, and I think I want to start ReZero. I think I want to try to start ReZero. I'm gonna be aggressive this week, guys. Aggressive.
Are you done with Psycho-Pass?
No. So look, I have to take breaks in between that show. That's like,
I get it.
It's like you can't binge 24 episodes of Criminal Minds in a season. You're like, I don't watch that kind of stuff.
No, that show really is disturbing.
Is disturbing, man. Yeah. I really enjoy it, but like that's when you just say, you know what? I'm just gonna dabble my feet for like an episode or two, and then I'm gonna take a week or two off, and I'm gonna dabble back in. And that's what's great about different animes. There's animes that you probably should binge, kind of like a Dragon Ball Daima, and there's ones that's like, you know what? I'm good. Like one every other week, I'll watch a Psycho-Pass. Like Rurouni Kenshin. That's one you can watch week to week and enjoy that as well. But like, there's some you just need to take. It's getting
even a show like Mindhunter, because we compared it to Fincher before. I think like there would be the very disturbing episode. Maybe there's like 2 or 3 in a row, but then there was always like an episode that was just a character study.
Yeah.
It's like, and also like exploring the world of this early sort of behavioral science program at the FBI. It's just we're sort of playing in the sandbox a little bit. It does kind of reset you a little bit, but Psycho-Pass, it's just like every episode is just like horrific thing after horrific thing after horrific thing.
I'm at episode 17. I just finished episode 17, and it is getting good, and I really like it. Because it's funny, because when I first started watching it was a lot more, the tone has shifted, and in a good way. I'm actually enjoying the darker tone, but it's just not one you can watch week to week. Because like earlier they have the lead of the show. She has all these cute little like Tamagotchi looking like AI computers and stuff like that. Very like Blade Runner-esque. And now it's just like full into like, hey, Fincher cat mouse chase to the death kind of show. It's pretty good though. So
there's kind of like that Summer Wars arc where there's like a social media where everybody has those avatars, and like one of the killers is like an avatar in that world. Yeah,
we saw that one, but I'm getting there. Hopefully I'll have an update on Psycho-Pass too. But that's about it for this week.
I'm behind on Blue Lock.
Yeah.
I'm behind on whatever else I was watching. But
we're busy people, But this is our passion, but we also have responsibilities. Now,
we do.
Like and subscribe. Send these to your friends so we don't have to have another job.
Right. And if anybody wants to sponsor us, so we can. Hey, if you want to become a patron, we have a Patreon. I believe our tier is like just $1. If you want to give us $1 a month, maybe we could do more of this, cover more anime and stuff like that. But for everyone who has been supporting and all of our subscribers, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. At the time of us recording this, we are past 16,400 subscribers. We are just growing week by week here. And when this airs, we'll probably be at 25. Now, just
wow.
Kidding.
Probably.
Not joking. Like,
sorry. When this airs 2 years from now.
I'm gonna start editing like next month. But it's like the fall season's over. No, my bad. My apologies, guys. Forgive me. Please give me some grace. We love you guys. Keep liking, subscribe, follow us on all of our platforms. If you don't want to watch us, which YouTube is our place to watch, but you should also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you can find your podcast. We'll be there.
And if you're there and you want to see the full experience, come watch us over on YouTube.
Watch us on YouTube.
That's our home. It's a bit of a different experience. So you get to see clips occasionally when we don't get copyright strike.
That's kind of random, but we're working that out.
We're working it out. We're in top. Right. Okay, but anyways, thank you as always for joining us. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on our Daima pod and on more of these pods when we can get to it.
See you next time.
Os!
All right.
Boom.